Hey, what's going on, everyone? Before we get into our conversation, I want to let you know this podcast is sponsored by BetRivers.com. BetRivers.com, the best place for all your sports gambling needs. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. You can also watch all of these episodes on the Field of 68 YouTube channel. Now, let's get into our conversation. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Eric Devendorf, your host of the Scores Table podcast. And today we have on another great guest. Now, this guest that we have on now, he started his career at Arkansas Little Rock. He transferred to Colorado State and then eventually made his way to Syracuse, where he averaged 10 points, team high 5 assists, and also a team high 88% from the free throw line. Welcome in my guy, John Gillon. Appreciate you coming on, bro.
What's up, E? Thanks for having me, man.
Man, all good, man. So kind of update us what's going on with you, what's been happening in your pro career, and where you're at right now.
I played in the G League a few years after Syracuse, did pretty well. Then I parlayed that into an overseas opportunity. Played in Lithuania, played in Turkey, and I played in Taiwan, and I'm currently waiting on my next deal.
Okay, nice. So let's start it back kind of in the beginning, bro. Growing up, tell me about your journey, kind of how it all started, and how you got interested in the game.
I got a little play toy goal that my dad got me, and he told me I would just sit on it and shoot on it all day. Then I started to take it a little more seriously. Actually, my first sport that they ever put me in was baseball, T-ball. And I eventually started playing basketball at the Y. It was pretty easy for me. Like that, the competition there wasn't, up to where I was at the time. And someone saw me and invited me to go play AAU basketball. Went to AAU, thought it was going to be the same thing, and it wasn't. It was kids that were better than me at the time. And my first year playing AAU, I sat the bench the whole year. I never really got in, but I felt like at that time I was at a crossroad. I could either quit and did something else, or I could have just worked hard. And I chose to just work hard. And the next year I ended up starting. I was a totally different player. And that's kind of how I got started with that.
Okay, sounds like so your dad kind of put the ball in your hands. Back it up a little bit, and at what age, I guess, did you really, take interest at it? Was it at 6, 7, 8 years old? Did you really
around that time?
Okay, and then what age did you, I guess, get serious about it, and then that's when AAU started happening?
AAU started when I was in 3rd grade, so like 8, and that was the year that I didn't play. And then by 4th grade, that's when I started playing. And I still wouldn't consider like 3rd and 4th grade serious, but when I knew that I probably could play Division I basketball was probably my freshman year in high school. I was like, I think I'm good enough. Even when people didn't see it, I was smaller than I am now. But I had a high skill level. And as my body grew and I started to get athletic, like I started to shock people. So,
talk about some of those challenges, like you said, though, just being small and people already kind of writing you off just because of your size and regardless of your skill and all that. Talk about some of the challenges you face. Maybe people already kind of having something predetermined about you or a notion like that. Just talk about those challenges going through growing up.
Yeah, I had to deal with stuff like that everywhere. Like you just assume the bigger players are better. I remember in 8th grade, I was the smallest one on the team. And I came off the bench my 8th grade year, like on the 8th grade team. And I was sick about it. Like I was just like, I'm good. Like I don't feel like these guys are better than me. Like I really don't. Like a few guys are good. A lot of that team actually, like two people played at TCU, another person played at Stanford, another person played at Duke, another person played at another small school. Like so, we had a talented team. Like in retrospect, but I just felt like I should have been on the court. That's just how I approached the game and like my mindset. And I was just at like another crossroad. I could either just let this happen or I could fight it. And I've always been a fighter. my whole life, and they were bigger than me. So of course they're going to get the benefit of the doubt. But I felt like I was always productive when I got a chance.
So really, that mindset that you had, that's what really separated you from everybody else. Despite your
Yeah,
size and everything.
yeah. I think that's always been like what separated me from people is like my mindset, and then probably my IQ for the game. Because as a smaller guard, you have to really learn the game, figure it out, because you can't get away with certain things. So like I in every situation, I feel like I have a counter. I know where my teammates want the ball. I know where I'd be most successful. I always know where the mismatch is. I know the players' deficiencies on offense. I know their defensive tendencies. Like I know all those things, and I think that gives me the edge. And I've always been like that, even when before I couldn't put it into words.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that from you in that 1 year, and I think being, especially when you're playing, at a high level, being at that size, you have to feel that type of way. I think all the great small guards, they have that killer instinct or that kind of chip on their shoulder that they play with to be able to give them that edge to be able to compete at that high level with those 6'6", 6'5" big guards that we see now. So I mean, I
Yeah.
knew it from the beginning. That's why made you successful. So talk about getting into high school. You talked about being on that eighth grade team. Getting into high school when it really starts to get heated up, 9th, 10th, 11th, into your senior year. When did the recruiting process really start to pick up for you? And then, kind of how did you go about that?
That was another. It just seems like anytime like I go through something in life, or my road is never easy. So like I start off in ninth grade. I'm on the freshman team when I felt like, of course, I felt like this. Like I could play at least JV. I'm better than these guys for sure. For sure. I was like, I really can mix it up with the varsity if you let me. But they were really good. They had a player playing in the NBA. They had all D1 guards. So they were so much bigger and older and more experienced. Like I probably couldn't have competed with them at a high level my freshman year. But I'm on the freshman team and I'm begging to be on JV, getting over 20 points every single game. I'm like, this isn't my level. Like you gotta move me up. But coach feels like I needed to mature, take a lesson, like whatever he was thinking. So I stayed there. And then the next year I go straight to varsity. And of course, I have bumpy road there. I feel like I should be starting. They had a guard starting over me, not really a non-basketball player, and I literally would not let him score the whole year.
In,
Like
in
I
practice?
in practice, he did not
Okay.
score. And I was like, he will not score. And my coach was like, I see what you're doing, but I don't care. Like he still wouldn't stop me. I'm like, cool. Came off the bench, probably averaged close to 10 points as
Was
a
he
sophomore.
older? Was he older?
He was a year older.
Okay.
He was a year older. And then next year I get to start. I'm averaging like, and this is off of a good AAU season.
This
So
year, 11th grade year. This year, 11th
my
grade.
after my 10th grade year, I go to like I play AAU and I have a good AAU year. And that was probably the first time I started getting some interest in letters from schools.
Okay.
Right. So, but the problem with me is that they didn't see me as a high major player. So I would get like Ivy League schools offering me, but
Which
not a lot
isn't
of people.
bad. That's not bad.
No, it's not bad, but I couldn't get into those schools because my high school was so hard. I went to a top 10 high school in the nation academically, that my GPA wasn't that high. Like I easily qualified for school and everything, but like my GPA was in like the maybe high twos, maybe like 2.8, 2.7,
Okay.
like something like that. And you had to have 3.5 to get into those, like a Princeton, a Stanford, like I had interest from Colgate, like schools like that. So I couldn't go there. So like I feel like I might have pulled out a few offers from that. And then once one person offers you, everyone does. But I got no offers there, right? Even schools would ask, they'd be like, my coach was like, he can't get in there. Like he couldn't get in there. So I get to my junior year. I go through my whole junior season. I get first team all district in a tough conference, like
In
in
Houston.
Houston.
In
Like,
Houston.
yeah, Texas is tough. Like that, especially like when I was in high school, like it was really tough. and it's super tough to win state. But I got first team all district. We were number one in Houston, and I had a McDonald's All-American on my team. Every school would be in our gym watching, and none of them offered me. And I'm wondering, like, what are they like? What do they look at? And what do, like, me looking back now is like, was I not good enough? Like, I could do everything. Like, I could shoot, dribble, like, but that's the thing, is like, maybe it's my size. You know what I mean? So uh that's where I feel like now learning like how it works, I think recruiters don't do a great job. Like, I feel like if I got a chance to
Yeah,
be, they don't. They
yeah.
don't. If I was a recruiter, I feel like any school I went to would be better, because you can go find a kid that knows how to play. Like, you can teach them certain things and different reads to be better, but some kids just know how to play. And I felt like I knew how to play. You know what I mean? And I never just got that chance. Like, and I would compete at a high level every single game. And they missed that. And like, I've proven it. You've seen it. Like, everybody's seen it. Like, I proved that I could play at that level. So what were they missing? Like, I'm small. I'm not that small to where it's just such a deterrent. Like, I can dunk. Like, I can, you know what I mean? It's not. I don't know what they're watching. But anyway, so I get through my junior year, no offers. I play AAU uh, that summer. We're traveling everywhere. I probably that whole summer got 30 points every game. One game I got 50.
And who are you
And
playing with? Houston Hoops?
Houston, no, Houston Select. I played the hoops my sophomore year. We played the 17U and the 16U. We beat both of them. And I still had no offers. Like, it's just crazy. And I did well both games. But get to my junior summer, do that. And I'm telling people, like, and my coach, my mom, my dad, because nobody in my family ever played Division I basketball. So like, they don't understand how it works. He's like, well, you haven't got these offers yet, so maybe you should consider going D2. Like, when they would say that, I'd be like, no, I'd rather just not hoop. Like, I'm not doing that. That's not, no disrespect to like any D2 players. Like, that's just not the level that I see myself at.
Okay.
That's not what I see myself doing. So I remember, I'll never forget this. Like, I would get a D2 letter and I would just throw it away. And one time my coach saw me doing that, or he found out somehow, and he like took the letter out and pinned it up on our locker room pin board, like the letter that I got from him. I'm like, snatched it back down, threw it away. I was telling my mom, I was like, I'm not going to do that. Well, John, you don't have any offers, so what are you going to do? I was like, I'm going to get one. Don't worry about that. Even when I like didn't have one, I just believed that in my mind. You know what I mean? So like, one game, I get a call, and it's funny. Like, I get a call from Jackson State, and like, that was my first D1 offer, like in the SWAC, like in the middle of the summer. I was like, oh wow. I mean, at least I could go D1. Like, I didn't want to go there, but like, I was like, I told myself, I told you I'm going D1 somehow, right? So then I got an offer from there. I got an offer from Arkansas Little Rock. I got an offer from Cal Poly. I got some interest in a call from UT San Antonio. I was I was in the works of like getting an offer from Pepperdine, like just little schools like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I went to Cal Poly, got MVP of their like elite camp. So then my senior year, like going into my senior year, before my senior year started, I went on a visit to Jackson State. I visited Cal Poly. I visited Pepperdine, and I visited Arkansas Little Rock. On my visit to Arkansas Little Rock, me not knowing how it works, well, I kind of had an idea just based on what people tell me. Like, they don't recruit the senior class. Like, you know that. Like, they don't recruit the senior class like that. Once you don't have those offers, like, it's pretty much over. But there are exceptions to every rule. I was averaging like 25 points a game my senior year. Like, I made another big jump. Like, I had grown into my body. My skill and athleticism was there. Like, I made every shot. We were on a national schedule. I got third in scoring on the national schedule. I didn't get first with like 5 points. I feel like I could easily got that. Then we go to another tournament. I break the record there. I get 38 points. So like I was having a good year. So I feel like I could have probably got a few higher offers because there were some like big time schools at those games. But I stuck with Arkansas Little Rock. And then when I got there, like my mom, she was talking to me about this.
So
like,
wait, you committed? When did you commit to Arkansas Little Rock?
I committed to Arkansas Little Rock before my senior season started.
Okay, all right.
Which probably wasn't the best idea. Not that I shouldn't have went there. I'm not going to say that, but I should have waited. They made it like it's like a way they go about it. They're like, all right, well, you need to take this offer, or we're going to offer someone else. And I'm like, I don't have that many offers to spare, so I got to, choose.
You wanted to lock one up.
I was like, I got to. So like I committed while I was on the visit there.
Okay. But I mean, you probably, I mean, it's somewhat appealing to you to be able, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I wasn't highly recruited. Like I was barely even top 20 in the city rankings wise. Like so, like I didn't like I had always had confidence, like me, but I don't have confidence in other people. So I didn't have confidence that they would believe in me the same way. So I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna just do this, make the most of this, and boom, I'll figure it out. But a month in at Little Rock, I told my mom, I was like, I'm not staying here. Like this isn't my level.
Oh, so you knew, right? So okay, so after your senior year in high school, I mean, I'm assuming you go there, you do summer school, you getting accustomed to everything, campus and all that. And then did you kind of know then during the summer runs, or was it leading into practice into the season that you kind of knew like, all right, maybe a year and I'm up out of here?
I didn't like it's not necessarily like that I knew I was killing them, of course. Like I was killing them like in like pickup and stuff like that. But I don't like a small time mindset. Like I don't that's what I loved about Syracuse so much. It's like it was a open-minded area. Like coach never did things for no reason. He was never petty. He treated you like men. Like he treated you like you were a talented basketball player. And I didn't get that feeling when I was there, when I was at Arkansas Little Rock. My first game, I didn't even start. And I'm like, I'm not gonna say I'm too good to go there. I shouldn't say stuff like that. But my first game off the bench, I played like 19, 20 minutes. I have 22 points. My first college game. You know what I mean? I'm like,
That's tough, yeah.
Yeah, like coach, you should be like the way he was treating me in like the cat and mouse game my coach would play, I'd be like, I'm not really feeling this. Like I always be respectful, but I don't feel like this can make me the best player that I can be. You know what I mean?
And that's what
So,
and that's what it's for you. So I mean, you end up averaging, I think, almost 10 points your first year there. Then you decide to transfer to Colorado State, sit out a year, you played, and I think, was it Larry Eustace? Was he the coach? So I mean, I guess after the season at Arkansas Little Rock, what came to Colorado State, transferring there? Why did you choose there?
I originally planned to go to Texas A&M.
Okay.
But they didn't have a scholarship. They were like, we're offering you, we want you, but we don't have a scholarship right now. And what's crazy is I'm committing to Colorado State that day. I take a few other visits. I had a few other offers. I call in to Colorado State. I commit. Then an hour later, this was before it even breaks, Texas A&M calls me and is like, "Oh, we have the scholarship opened up for you." I was like, "This is crazy." But I was like, "Well, this is probably happening for a reason." So I just stuck with Colorado State.
Yeah.
And we had a good. I sat out. I kind of had a bumpy road there too, like just kind of getting into it with coach, like some immature things that I would do. Not that it was on him, but he wanted you to be like very rigid, like do what he said. And me, I have an opinion about certain things. You know what I'm saying? So like we kind of butted heads sometimes, but he was like, he felt like my talent was undeniable. You know what I mean? Like, so he played me. In the first year that I played, we broke the school record in wins. And I got 6 men of the year. I came off the bench. We played with no point guard. I thought I should start, of course. The same story. It happens everywhere. It happens literally, happens everywhere. So then the next year, just kind of leading into how I got to Cuse, I got
Hold on real quick. My fault. So you were 3 years at Colorado State. You were sat out one, and then you played 2 years.
Right.
You played 2 years. Okay, that's because so your last year at Colorado State, you averaged what, around like 14, was it 13, 14? Mm-hmm. And then what was it like? So was it just you like, hey, all right, I need to go on a bigger stage?
That wasn't it.
You didn't want to go on a bigger stage? What was the decision? What was it?
That wasn't it, because I would have stayed there because like I felt like we would have had a good team, like coming back for my last year.
Big 12?
No, we were Mountain West.
Mountain West, excuse me. Sorry, Mountain West. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Utah State, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going through the year. I'm playing okay. I didn't shoot the ball well. I wasn't shooting the ball well to start. But I started figuring it out. But I was still averaging like 17, 18 points. Like I was playing well. I hurt my finger. I couldn't shoot, like my whole hand, like it's still like swollen to this day, like my joint on my finger. Yeah. I couldn't shoot for like 8 games. In that stretch, I was averaging like 4 to 6 points. Coach brought me in. He was like, because he already like had resentment built up for me before. It was almost like he was going against his being to even play me. So it was like right when I am not playing at a super high level, is like, oh, I'm gonna kind of treat you bad. That's what I felt from what I saw, right? So he's like, you're not playing well. The freshman's out playing you. I'm gonna play the freshman. And he's like, if you want to, you can leave like the school. I didn't even say anything back. Like he told me this.
Is this Coach you, Stacy? But I'm saying, did he know you were hurt? You had a hurt hand?
Yeah, he knows. Of course he knows. Of course. Like I don't even shoot anymore, and I made the most threes out of anybody before that, and I don't shoot anymore. If you don't notice that as a coach, then okay. Like I'm not gonna argue with you. So what I did was what I always do. I just got to work. Like I got with one of the assistant coaches. I thank him to this day. We worked out every single day. We had a routine until I got back to normal. And then in the stretch he sent me, he was like, since we've been working and you've gotten healthy, you've averaged 18 points. Because he took me off, he was bringing me off the bench. It was honestly silly because we would get off to slow starts because I know how to control the game. Not that I'm not saying the freshman that was behind me wasn't good. I thought he was a good player. Like my little brother to this day, like he's a good player, but like I had more experience at the time, you know? So I would control the game, bring us back. Every game I'm getting 20, 16, 8. Like I'm in there getting busy. And I was just staying silent because I was like, all right, he told me to leave. You know, then we get to like the conference tournament and he tries to like start me and tries to act like he's wanted me there the whole time. Like all this stuff. So the season gets over with. And I said, I'm telling him how I'm leaving. You told me to leave. He told me to, like, literally told me to leave on top of all the stuff that I had to hear before, which is cool. You hear me? Okay. Which is cool. But I'm like, okay, well, if you don't want me here, I'm out. And that's fine. It could be like that. And since I was playing so well, the tune kind of changed. They were trying to get me to stay, butter me up, like, oh, we want you. You're going to be a captain. You're going to be this, and that. I was like, look, man, I'm leaving. So coach calls me and he was like, oh, okay, you're quitting on us. I get it. I talk to coach. I know you're quitting. Just like wait to leak that you're leaving. I was like, at that point, I was just like, it's honestly crazy that you can say I'm quitting when you literally just play this like hot and cold game with me. Like before the season, he coached at Iowa State before.
Yeah, I
He
remember him.
Yeah, he coached Jamal Tinsley. Jamal Tinsley's nice. He was like, John, he's in an article saying like he thinks I could play in the NBA. He thinks that I'm the second best guard he ever coached after Jamal Tinsley. Like saying these things in articles, like he's like, why couldn't he play in the NBA? Like just talking about my skill set. And then we have that bumpy road. You know what I mean? And me, I'm not the type of person to look at things and only look at it from one side. I felt like I could have been better. Like I had some bad games, in my opinion. Like I felt like there were ways I could have been better, but our system was kind of tough because, like, if you know me, like I just got 6th man of the year, teams are gonna focus in on me, and we didn't have any plays, not one. We didn't have one play.
So what was it? Just ISO? Go
for me. Like, and that's the thing. Like I was forced into some tough situations because it's like I'm fast, so if it's butter, last 7 seconds, knowing that people get a pick. For me, he was like, no, John, don't set John a pick. Let him take his man one-on-one. Like that was so like you're like, yeah, I can do it, but like that's not a plan. Like that's tough. The last few seconds was trying to like wiggle out and do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's tough.
So like I felt like, I mean, I'm skipping ahead, but I felt like I had more space to do stuff at Syracuse, even though I was playing higher competition because I'm playing with better players.
Exactly.
So like you can't just focus in on me. So I always could get in the lane. Someone's always going to be open. Like I could, the reads were easier. Like I felt like my game translated well to the ACC play, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
well, we'll talk about how you got there, though. You know what I mean? Because like you talk about, you're playing well coming out of Colorado State, so you had other schools interested. And at that time, we had another guy coming in as well. Because I think grad transfers like your year, that was kind of when it was really starting to, I think, pick up a little bit more. And then obviously we had Andrew White come in. I just had him on the last podcast, so back to back. But talk about how you got to Syracuse. Who was recruiting you, and what really made you feel comfortable when you got there.
Yeah, so when I left, I got a lot of offers. That was the most offers I ever got. And like me being, you heard my story, like me being somebody that never got any offers. Even when I left Little Rock, I got offers, maybe like 10 to 12. Like when I left Colorado State, it was probably like 40. Like it was crazy. Like my phone was constantly buzzing. Every time I looked at my phone, a new coach was calling me. Like it was just a different feeling, right? So I got a call from Oklahoma. They were in the Final Four. I got a call from Syracuse. They were in the Final Four, but I didn't even get the call from Syracuse. My dad got the call. He was like, "Man, you'll never guess who I got off the phone with." I'm like, "Who?" He was like, "Jim Boeheim." I was like, "Yo, that's crazy." I was like, that's insane. Like, I can't believe it. Like, because I will tell people things and they'll tell me I'm crazy. I was like, man, like I was like, that style of play is me. Like, I'm an ACC guard. Like how they used to play at Duke, how they used to play at North Carolina. I was like, those type of games where Jimmy V is commentating. Like, that's the type of games that I want to be in. Like, that's where I see myself. People like, people kind of project their fears onto you.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I just feel like I can do it. I would love to do it. You know what I mean? And it was funny how it worked out. Like I got Florida State offered. I got NC State. Like I got all those schools. And I was just like, in my head, like right when my dad was like, Syracuse called, I was like, I got to commit there.
Right away. Who was the other schools? Oklahoma, and then who were the other two though? Besides
Oklahoma, A&M offered again.
Okay.
Purdue, I think, Memphis. Like I got a call from U of H. I got a call from
Kelvin Sampson, huh? That's the number one right now.
I think he had just got there.
Okay.
But it was one of my friends that I grew up playing with was an assistant. Mikhail, he called me and asked me if I'd be interested. Texas Tech.
Texas Tech now, they weren't like they were now. I mean, or they are now.
That was right when Chris Beard got there.
Yeah, Chris Beard in trouble.
Yeah, Coach Beard is in trouble. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, but whatever it did, it is what it is. That's not a good look. But but like right when you hear Syracuse, it's a regardless of who else it is, it's different. When you hear the Cuse, Jim, you knew it right then and there. Boom. What assistant did you talk to though?
Coach Autry.
Okay. So you talked to Red. Red was your guy.
Yeah. So like I was almost in shock. Cause I remember I was at the barber. Well, it wasn't a barber shop, but like I was at Colorado State. I was getting my hair cut, and I was watching the Final Four. That was in Houston, where I'm from, and it was Syracuse. I remember watching Tyler Lydon play. I remember watching Frank. I remember watching Mike Benajay, Trav, like all of them. Like I was like, man, that's a squad right there. Like they're nice.
Yeah, Malachi.
Yeah, Malachi. Like I remember Malachi was going crazy. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I didn't even think of it though, but I was like, man, that vibe of that school, that's pretty cool. Like you just know Syracuse is gonna go on a run in the tournament. Little did I know I'd be playing there next year. Like it was just crazy to think about.
Yeah, the style of play, bro. It's funny because I was committed to Michigan State at first. So this was back when like who was there? I don't know. They had like Shannon Brown. I remember like Allen Anderson. Like so, this was kind of it was back a little ways, but I was committed to Michigan State, and I went to the game at Michigan State when they played Cuse 2003 when they had Melo, GMAC, Hack, all those guys. Cuse won the national championship, and same thing that you're saying about the style of play, how you get the freedom, how you kind of get to play through the mistakes. It's a mentality. You got to have thick skin, when you're playing for coach because he's just gonna say whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so you got to have thick skin. But right when I seen them play, bro, Billy Eland, GMAC, how they went like this, and they had that space to just kind of do their thing and like you said, create, and it's all about making reads because you got the space. Now it's just making decisions, bro. Right away, I decommitted. Like next week, called them and it was like, man, that's Cuse. So that makes sense when you say it. Everyone says that too. Like Cuse is it's almost like a pro feel how
it is.
Coach, he gives you that freedom to be able to just kind of do you, and he expects you, right? He's not going to hound you.
He expects it. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. I remember one time in practice, coach is like, because I get like fiery sometimes, like I'm trying to compete, and we were all just getting into it in practice the whole time, and I'm in the middle of everything. Then coach is like, John, you're the biggest a-hole I've ever coached. I look back and I look at you, Eric. I'm like, are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm like, Coach, I was like, you sure about that?
It was worse than me. Trust me.
I was like, well, I got somebody at least beating me right there.
No, I mean, talk about it, bro. That year you spent at Cuse. Well, let me rewind it a little bit. Go back a little bit. From those first two experiences before Syracuse, Arkansas, Colorado State, what did you learn and what did you take from those two schools that really helped you with that year when you went to Syracuse?
I always thank Coach Stacy for this, even though we didn't see eye to eye sometimes. Like the toughness that I got from that school translates to anything in life. Like I feel like there's nothing that I cannot do or nothing that is. There's obviously things that are unobtainable, but there is nothing that I could try that I feel like would be too much, or nothing that I could go through that I could be like, it's too much because of what I went through there. Like how tough and demanding he was. Like I feel like that built me up for the rest of my life.
Yeah, so I mean, so you got to look back on that, like you said, and you took something that really helped you going forward with everything else.
Yeah,
and you're like,
I needed that.
Yeah,
I needed that.
Yeah, that's good. It's big for people to realize that, because a lot of people, they'll never realize that like you were able to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To help them going forward. All right, so you get to Cuse. All right, you're locked in. What was your overall experience like playing there? 30,000 ESPN. Okay, bro. Regardless, Arkansas, Little Rock, Colorado State, Cuse, a different level. You on TV every game, bro. Every Tuesday, Saturday noon. You might get you a Monday evening game in. Coach Boeheim Hall of Fame, like James Naismith. It's a different field, bro. It just is what it is. Talk about your overall experience and just some of your greatest moments playing there at the Dome.
I would say like my best moment, like to where I was just like, man, this is the coolest thing that I've ever experienced. Like everybody would probably say the Duke shot, but like where I actually got chills, like the Duke shot, I was just like, I don't want to go to overtime with Grayson Allen, Jason Tatum, Luke Kennard. Like, so I was like, oh God, thank God I made that. Like, I don't know how.
Half court.
It was closer than that. It was like NBA 3, a little bit further, like volleyball line.
Well, go back a little bit though. Like talk about that leading up to that moment because it was a back and forth battle, and Duke had a chance. I remember Solomon hit a crazy. Was it like a pump up and under 3 or something, or he might have missed it? I don't know, but it was a lot of back and forth.
Who you talking? You talking about Rasheed?
Yeah, Sheed. Yeah, sorry.
No. That was the year before, like a few years before.
Okay. So who was?
You know what's crazy? Me and Rasheed
Tatum.
went to high school together.
Yes, that was the guy you're talking about.
Yeah, that was the guy that was the McDonald's All-American. So it's funny, like we both hit big shots in the Dome.
That was like, the year before. Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay.
And then I shot, and then he got in trouble with Duke. And I told him before the game, like I was like, shit, I'm gonna kill them tomorrow. Killed them. They interviewed me after the game. That's why I was like, that was for my boy Rasheed.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody in Houston was super hype about that. Everybody was like hitting me up. Like, oh man, you saw Real having his back, stuff like that. So I thought that was a pretty cool moment.
Well, what was the one you were talking about though before that? Before I cut you off?
The coolest one, but to not even skip ahead, like the Duke game itself, I felt like that was a chess match. Like that was like the type of feel the game is. Like you're figuring out this person, trying to figure out their next move, like maneuvering through the game. Like I just felt like that game, like I was just on top of it. Like I just felt mentally strong. Like I was sharp. We were sharp. Tyus hit some big shots. Drew had a kind of a rough game, even though he led us every game. He was the most consistent player I've ever played with. And we ended up just, even when we got down, we'd always make that play. So yeah, that game was pretty cool. I think it was cool for the town. Like I've had at least a few thousand people bring that up to me, at least that much, on what it meant to them, where they were. Oh, I got arrested that night. Oh, I get like, oh, you won me money. All types of stories. Like people still bring that up to me all the time. So it's a cool moment. Like it's a cool moment. It's one of the top Syracuse moments, and I got to be a part of that in 1 year. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but anyway, the coolest moment that I ever had was, I remember when we went to NC State, and like I had that game.
Yeah.
It wasn't that game that was the coolest moment. So that game is over. The next game we play Virginia in the Dome. They're doing the starting lineups. And when they say my name, they do like a little video of me like going around hitting the shot to tie it. Like that shot, like whatever, like double.
Yeah, corner, right?
It was like the break.
Yeah, they're right there when it goes up to the arc.
Yeah. Drew ran up in my way and brought his man to me. He was so thirsty to get a shot.
Yeah.
And I just rose up on everybody and I hit it. I was like,
that was against Dennis Smith Jr.
Yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, they can't stop me.
Yeah.
They can't. So we're in the Dome. They do that, and they do the little video, and then I like that game. Like when you're in the zone like that, I knew every shot was going in. Like I felt it. Like we got in so much work with GMAC. I wouldn't publicize this, but I would, even after games, I would go in the Mello Center and shoot after the game, shoot before practice. Like I would just shoot. Like that was probably the best my shot ever felt. We would always compete like the 5 spots in a row.
Yep.
5 shots in a row going all the way around, right? So they play that, and then I was trolling the dudes on the side that were yelling at me like the whole game, like telling me I suck and all this. So like I got to the line, it was like the last free throw I was shooting, and we might have been down, but I knew the free throws were going in. Like that, I got the free throw record, and like I went by him and I winked, and they showed that on the screen when they were doing like the video, and then they were like doing all like the shots I was hitting, and then the crowd went crazy. I was like, oh, I was like, that's probably the coolest moment I've had.
Yeah, bro. I mean, come on. 30, 25, 30,000 screaming, bro. I mean, I mean, the feeling is just completely exhilarating. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no doubt, bro. And then the thing about that is, even though you only played 1 year, you can come back whenever you want. You know what I'm saying? Just because you put your stamp. Same thing with Drew. Like both of you guys that year put your stamp on it. You know, you did your thing at Cuse, and I mean that's what makes Cuse so much different, bro. It's just like I mean, first of all, everyone has had the same coach forever for 50 years, so that's super unique because we can all kind of share like those stories about them. But then the community that we have, I mean, this is support is unreal, bro. Like, what's the difference, like in the communities that you've been to playing, like Colorado
I don't care
State.
about basketball.
Yeah, so it's
They don't. They don't like some games. Like we'll play CU, and that will get packed. We'll play Wyoming. We'll play San Diego State, maybe UNLV. Sometimes those games will get rocking. We have our alternate jerseys. When I was at Colorado State, only game that really got rocking in Arkansas Little Rock was when we played Arkansas State. Like only rivalry games. Like Cuse, you could play. We played Virginia. That's not a rivalry, and sold out crowd. Like we played Florida State, it's packed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and even if it's not sold out, it's way more people in there. Like the whole town cares about Syracuse basketball.
Yeah, that's a part of the experience. That's a part of the experience.
It doesn't. It's not all peaches and berries. Like,
oh no,
I've had some people like approach me outside the gym, like talking kind of crazy. So like, you gotta play well. They'll destroy you if they can. They've sent me some wild DMs.
Oh yeah.
It used to get wild.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that's like I said, that's a part of the experience when you come to Syracuse is the community and how passionate they are about basketball. And like you're gonna get the good and the bad. I mean, bro, I do the radio now. You hear some of the people call in, and sometimes you're just like what you don't even make any. What are you saying? Like you don't even make any sense. So it's just like, yeah, appreciate the call, and keep supporting. So I mean, it's a part of the experience. It's unique, and I think it's special.
Oh yeah, it's cool, man. Like I have no problem interacting. Like I have thick skin, so they would be. I remember it's in an article I just saw it the other day. It's funny. Like I was like, man, look, all these people want to say I suck. That's cool. I run out of eligibility after this year, so we can all come and play 1-on-1 for money. After if that's what y'all want to do. That's what we do.
That's one thing this dude I love to do. He love to gamble, man. He love to gamble, man. He love to gamble.
Can you tell me real quick how you
hold on.
You
tell me this. That's because I was getting to that. You tell me what's the overall record, because that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what was it that Tuesday. I'm talking about overall. What is the record between me and you 1-on-1?
I think 3-2 and you're up.
Okay, it's 4-2, but I'll give you that.
How's it 4-2? The last time I played you, I beat you, and you know that, so you won't play me anymore. You're dead meat now. You play me now, it'll look me really bad.
No, you get old too.
I'm not getting old.
I'm going right down low to you. I got stronger and everything.
Oh yeah, I know you changed your diet. I'm strong. Hey, I'm telling you, I'm strong, man.
Yo, bro. So look, you had a great year. You had a great career overall. You had a great college career. You finished it with a great one at Cuse, a great season at Cuse. And then you go you play professional. You played a little bit in the G League. You bounced around. And then, bro, again, you kind of going through those stages that you talked about that you went through your whole life from college or from high school to college. now professional, kind of like proving yourself all over again. The size comes into play. You know, they're undervaluing you, whatever it may be. So talk about that transition now from Syracuse going to the pros and dealing with it all over again.
Man, it's so crazy, man, that like I don't know what, I think everybody is put on earth for something. Like,
yeah.
And I don't know if mine is basketball. Like, and as a hooper, that's hard to say, like, but I don't know, because like, or it's like people can learn lessons through the things that I've been through. Or so like it's something. It could be basketball. Like my break could be coming. It could be right around the corner. You know what I mean? But I don't know that. But like I'm figuring that out. And I think just the struggles that I go through are building me up for something. And I don't know what it is, but I'm just excited to see what it is. And because when it comes, I feel like I'll know. You know what I mean? So my first year in the G League, I played for a similar coach to my first year at Arkansas Little Rock. Wants to teach a whole bunch of lessons. You're young. We want you to come down, pick up full, just pass the ball and do whatever. And I'm like, I can do that, but I'm way more dynamic than that. You know what I mean? Like I'm a game manager. I'm a shot maker. Like I control, like that's my game. Like just coming in and playing blindly fast and not manipulating the defense at all. That's not me. That's not how I play. Right. So, but you do have to do what your coach says, but like that just wasn't me, in my opinion. So we had a little friction in that, but my learning from that was like, you got to do exactly really what you're told when you have no leverage. I had no leverage. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That coach wasn't on no crazy contract. It didn't matter if he won or lost, and he had some killers like above me that were like they're my OGs. Like now, I talked to one the other day. He was on the team, Donald Sloan.
Donald Sloan could play Texas A&M.
Man, he used to be killing me in practice, man.
That's a big guard.
He's like 6'2". He's not like that much taller than me, but he's like
thick though. Like
he's so strong.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, he's absolutely. I remember he my age.
Yeah, he's your age.
Yeah.
So his pace and everything was so tough. And I had Justin Dentman. And Justin Dentman is a bucket.
That's
like
he's my grade too. My class too, Washington. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I wasn't gonna play over them my rookie year, even though I'm gonna go in there and try to compete. Like I was in there mixing it up with him, but I couldn't. Like Justin was he wouldn't even try in practice. Like I would be like, man, this dude can't play over me. First game, he had like 45. I was like, oh, never mind. I was like, he's nice. Like he would get 40 every game. He's too smart. His jumper's too good. You can't guard Donald. He's too strong. His pace is too good. So like I learned from them. Like I would go and shoot with Justin after practice because I'm like, all right, to beat him, I gotta shoot this many shots after practice. His arms were so strong that he wasn't even feeling it. My arm was about to fall off. Like I was literally like walking out of there like, I can't believe this guy shoots that much. But it's a learning experience, and I learned from it, right? But but same situation. I'm killing them in practice. I'm killing them. Like that, like how I play, like on that NBA court, I have too much space.
A lot of space.
I could get in the lane. I could do whatever. I could score whenever I want. Or somebody's gonna get a wide open shot every time I have the ball because the reads and reactions are too far. So if you have to tag the roller, that corner pass is gonna be open. Or I'll just fake, throw it like there's too much stuff. You have to commit to one thing because the court is too small.
Right.
And you have to worry about me blowing by you. So it's like you're in a tough position. So anyway, I ended up not playing there. And it's crazy. Like I got cut and then picked up by another team. And I was so like shocked by that because I'm like, in my mind, I was like, I'm way too good for this to happen. I have the assistant coaches coming up to me like, John, like, man, you're a talented man. Like, how did you not get more stuff than this? Like, we can see you scoring 40 this year in a game. Like, and I did. Like when I got picked up by another team.
Yeah, Erie, so right?
Yeah, Erie. So I go to that team. and my attitude is just way better. I learned from my mistakes because coach wasn't playing me, and then they be in there joking around, and like I'm hot, like I'm like I want to play, man. I'm not playing with y'all. You know what I mean? Like y'all are holding me back. I'm trying to be in the league by February. You feel me? Like so, I'm just sitting there like, man. So you make a joke, I'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I learned you have to play the game. You know, you have to. Like, you have to be more personable. And that's kind of the lesson I learned there. So I was much better in Erie with that. But I still wasn't getting time. But I would get in like 10 minutes a game. The first game they let me loose, I played 20 minutes. I had 20 and 10. The first game in Erie. That was the first game I ever played 20 minutes in the G League. And I'm just like, man, I was like, that wasn't that hard.
Because that's about opportunity, right? Getting your opportunity.
It's all about opportunity. And then I ended up that year as a starter averaging 23 and 8. So I'm like, but I learned the political game because I'm like, there's people that average less than that get call-ups. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, what am I doing?
It's all about fit, like their fit, what that team might need. You might got a guy in your team averaging 6. He a defensive stopper. All right, we're gonna pull him up real quick, 6'7". He can move a little bit.
Oh yeah. And I understood that, so I never would compare myself to people like that. I just would try to understand. I did feel like I deserved the chance. Like the next year I played again in the G League, and I got top 40. Like I got to the elite camp. I played well in that first game at 18 and 8, and we blew the team out. You know, so I was like, man, like I felt like my mindset, like like everything was like clicking. I'm like, what's the problem? You know, why do I not at least get a chance? Like my game translates perfectly to how y'all want to play. I run up the court, I shoot 3, I play fast. You can say, like, sometimes people say, oh, you're not a natural point guard. But I'm like, I'm getting my teammates involved. You know, what else do you want me to do?
Yeah, take care of the ball, make open shots, space the ball around. That's what, you know what I mean? Yeah, so you talked about your time with the Legends, time with Erie. And we all know, bro, especially in professional, it's about fit, situation, and just a lot of times it comes down to politics, bro. That's just the fucking story of it. And again, we talked about you playing against the odds, bro, just being a little guard. That's just how it is, man. Like, and then we talk about, you see Isaiah Thomas, this motherfucker had 50 numerous times. Nate Robinson, these guys are out of the league. It's just
it's crazy.
It's crazy, bro. But you know, I think for you, the opportunity that you got, you took advantage of it, right? Somebody saw that. You were able to get an opportunity overseas playing in Lithuania. You were able to go, you know, play in Turkey. You were able to play in Taiwan. So, I mean, if you want to look at it from a positive perspective, like, you know, you talked about, Coach Stacy, how, you know, his toughness and how he coached you helped you going forward in a lot of different other situations. So this is one of those type of situations where the opportunity presented itself just a little bit. You took advantage, and that might have opened those doors for Lithuania, Turkey, and Taiwan. You know, talk about being able to travel the world, bro, get paid for it, doing what you love to do, being in a different culture. I know you brought your baby girl over there and your family. They got to experience a little bit of it. You know, just talk about that, being over there and getting to, you know, experience all those things.
Yeah, my baby and my wife now came out to Turkey with me, and I'm a big proponent of like learning something new, like learning new things. Like I feel like that's the key to life. You know what I mean? Like the person that you become, like, you know this, E. What would you do if you literally got everything you ever asked for right when you wanted it? You'd be spoiled. You'd probably be out of control. Like
out of control.
You'd be, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I learned. So I see, and no knock on him, I see John Wall talking about he feels depressed. Like he's saying, I feel depressed because of whatever's happening in his life. And that's a person who got the first $200 million contract. He got like whatever. He did have something happen in his family, but you have to be able to kind of how do I explain it? Like you have to be able to like fight through stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And
oh
like
yeah.
maybe like getting all that stuff so young and so early, he might not have got the chance to do that.
And not being able to go through like you talk about your story. You went through adversity young. You learned what life can be unfair at a really young age. So you were able to adapt and figure out ways how to deal with those things. A lot of people, everything is given to them. You were always the best. You're the greatest. You're the greatest. Now you get to
Right.
be a professional. And mind you, like it's like when deaths happen in the family, things like that, that's a whole different, that's tough. We that's hard to deal with for sure, no
Yeah,
question.
recognize that.
But when you have everything given to you at a young age throughout your career, now you get to a point where you're an adult, you're a professional, and you hit a bump in the road. It's different now because you haven't really faced that. Now how are you going to deal with it, rather than you haven't faced that already numerous
Yeah.
times? Now you know how to navigate and deal with it, and again, you know how to take it. You have a different perspective out of it, which maybe somebody else who hasn't been through it doesn't have that type of perspective. So
Yeah, and I also feel like once you get on, once you make a lot of money, once you get all the things you want, and you really had to earn it, and not that the other people didn't earn it, but you really fought for it. I feel like it'd be much more satisfying. And then on top of that, you'll
yeah,
probably greatly understand what it's like to be down. Like you understand how to keep your money. You understand a whole lot of different things. You know what I'm saying?
it's bro, you can never. I mean, it always has to be some type of learning curve or a mistake made for you to be able to get to level up, so to speak, right? To be able to get to
Right.
that, because how you like it, it's just no way to have the ultimate success, and the ultimate success differentiates between people's perspectives, what it is, right? Everyone has a different opinion of what success is, but to
Yeah.
really reach any type of success, you have to go through some bad times, sometimes where you're not figured out, where you might whatever it is, bro. That's just life, man. And
I
like you said,
I
you
have a
literally,
question. Can I ask you a question, E?
yeah.
How do you feel about how your life is going now? How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel like I'm doing what I love to do. As far as giving the game back to the young kids, and I'm able to do this and kind of talk to guys like you who could share their story with other people, and hopefully people listen and take some from it that'll help them in their lives, bro. So man, bro, thankful. Is everything perfect? No, but again, that's where perspective comes in, and it could be a lot worse, for real. You know what I mean?
You probably at one age, I met you when you were like 29, I think. And you probably at one point never saw yourself being happy or being successful without basketball. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And then like the letdown, because people might not understand completely, but like your skill level is a vet in the league. Like that's your skill level. Like you could have easily been an NBA player, but for whatever reason, your fault or politics, like whatever, a mixture of all that, you didn't get that chance. But look how you found happiness, you found a niche, you found peace. Like, you know what I'm saying? Look at the person you are today. Look at how much I was thinking about this the other day. Look how much you do for the community. Like, look how like you might not have got the opportunity to help as many people as you have. You know what I mean? Like you've touched so many lives by always doing your turkey drive, book drive. I've been to the Boys and Girls Club with you a bunch of times, and I know you've been 100 more times on top of that. You know, you might not have been able to do the same things if you would have got everything you wanted in life. And maybe that doesn't fulfill you the same as you seeing the look on people's face when you help them.
yeah, bro. That's you hit it on the head. I think and even I think we're all like individually like hard on ourselves because we expect a lot of ourselves being athletes and just having that. That's our nature, right? We expect to do
Yeah,
good.
we're competitive.
Exactly. But when I hear something like that from you, it kind of like it makes you feel good. Like, all right, boom, like yeah, like other people are seeing what you're trying to bring out. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? As far as like helping other
Oh,
people.
I see
So
it.
no, that's big, bro. I mean, that's I think that motivates me to continue to try to help out and do those type of things. You know what I mean? When you hear that from people, that kind of validates that what you're doing. So that's dope, bro. I appreciate that. I
Yeah, bro.
appreciate that.
I've noticed that, bro. I've always looked up to you. You're just like that type of person that helps people with no agenda. You've worked me out dozens of times when I needed help. You know what I'm saying? Anything you ever needed, I would do. So like I appreciate that, bro. Like I appreciate the person you are and whatever like path that it took for you to get to where you are now, like I feel like that's made the world a better place.
Dope. I appreciate that, bro. That's love. That's love for real. Hey, so I wanted to make sure I asked you this too. You know, despite just playing one season at the Cuse, your Cuse family, you locked in, especially like we talked about, you put your stamp down already. And you were able to play for the Bayheim's Army. You know, we had
Right.
some, you know, for a few years and we had some awesome times, bro. Talk about like being a part of that family and then being able to play with like some of the greats of different eras of Cuse basketball. Like you're talking about you know, Hakeem Warwick, Demetrius Nichols, you know, Arenze Anawaku, you know, me and I got to coach you and you got to play with me, you know what I'm saying? So that was a unique experience in itself. You know, what was that like for you, bro, being able to play, have that nostalgia again of playing in front of those Cuse fans, you know, take me through some of those times.
Um it was fun, man. Like you get to put on the orange colors, get that love again. You get to play high level basketball with people you look up to or have looked up. Like you meet people that you've seen on TV 100 times. You know what I'm saying? Like I just saw you as a coach. Well, I didn't see you as a coach, but like that's all I've known you as when I first met you, and I never got to see you in that environment. Um, so it was just cool to learn. Like I enjoyed seeing D Nick. I like the way he approaches the game is very professional. He is. I always try to mess with him and tell him he can't guard me or just something to like make him not be so calm.
Yeah, all right, come on, young fella. Yeah, young fella. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, yeah. He'll be like, "Come on, man. You
Yeah,
know,
right.
can't be." You know what I mean? Like so, like just kind of being around that, learning, hearing the stories y'all would have, and like kind of how it lines up because it seems like coach has just been the same for 45 years. You know what I mean? So like just seeing that is it's kind of like we all were on the same team almost. How
Right.
it feels. So it's cool. It's cool, man. It's fun. I like playing for Bayon's Army.
Dope. Bro, last question, I'm gonna get you up out of here. What advice do you have for, you know, younger kids who aspire to grow up and play college sports or play professional sports, or just, you know, have some success in life? I mean, you were a guy, you know, you talked about your story who been through some ups and downs and you were able to persevere and really you know, find yourself on that other side and have a lot of success and you know, still gonna have a lot of success going forward. So what advice do you really have for the kids coming up trying to do some of that?
Uh, like this sounds corny, but I would say like it's you versus you. Like you can't judge your success. You can't judge what you can do based off of anybody else, right? Like you have to get the most out of your body. Like so, I hate when people will be like this. I don't know if y'all would like this example, but they'll be like, "Man, Allen Iverson would drink, eat bad, do whatever, and still go get 30." I'm like, if he really took care of himself, he probably could have got 40. So that's not him getting the most of himself. That's just his talent relative to everybody else was just so high that
Yeah.
he could still go do that.
Yeah.
Like I would respect the person more. Not that I don't respect AI. I do. He was a dog. He went and played hard every night, but he could have did some things better. That's just my opinion. Um, I respect the guy that literally gets the most out of what he has, and it's not the results of that is not based on your production, and people don't realize that. Like they'll be like, "Oh, well, you did this," or they'll talk about the result. The result is irrelevant. You know what I mean? Like if you play Division I as a kid, like one day, or you want to play in college, or you want to do something, like that's irrelevant. Try to get that. Like you go for your goals, and every day you're the best that you can be. And wherever you fall, you fall. Like I don't have a specific goal. Like that's what I would advise people going forward, because when you have a specific goal, you have your goal, but when you harp on that and you kind of, I feel like you confine yourself to what it takes to do that when you could be more. So you could just, you know, work hard, the hardest that you can, and try to get there. But the skills and the mindset that you build up from trying your best and being your best translates to anything. Like it's tough. Like right now, like if I had never went through anything in my life, got everything I wanted, and then right now, like it's getting late in the year and I'm a free agent, I would have cracked by now. You know what I mean? Like I would be like literally going crazy, but I'm like, it's just a season. Like it's only going to be like this for a little amount of time. You'll be back doing what you love to do, or something to work out. You know what I mean? Like I have that confidence just because I've been through so much. Like me starting off in third grade, not playing, has prepared me for this or whatever I go through in life. You know what I mean? So that's my advice. And I'm actually right now working on a website and a ebook that helps kids with their development. I offer a service where I evaluate, watch their film, break it down, kind of give my opinion on where they're at, what they need to work on, stuff like that. I think I'd be good at that. So I'm in the process of working on that now. So if like people actually want advice moving forward from someone that's been through dang near it all, like you can, I'm going to offer that. Like you can, I think I could help a lot of people that way.
And let people know where they can reach out to you at, if anyone wants to take you up on that offer.
Oh yeah, just hit me up on, for now, just hit me up on Instagram. Then in the next few months, I'll have the website and the ebook up, just so you can just kind of learn off that. But yeah, if you need help, evaluation, and you want to see what you can get better at, hit me up. Like I can help.
Dope, because a lot of kids need that, because they're getting a lot of advice from people that have never been through it, never.
And that's the problem. Like I've been coaching a little bit, like with little kids, and I see the parents, and it's just kind of sad because I'm like, man, these parents have no idea what to really do or say. And this kid probably could be better, but he doesn't know the path to go on. Like, I don't know if your parents played sports, but if they didn't, you were fending for yourself. You were kind of like, not that they didn't help you, but it's like, dang, I don't know what to do right here. Like in certain situations, that's the same for me. Like my parents helped me as much as they could.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, but if you're not in it and you don't know what to do. So I've been in it, you've been in it. We could advise people much better than even somebody that made it all the way to the league, because we can advise you through the bumps and crevices that you fell through. You know what I'm saying?
Because they're the people, just to be real, like, and again, it's hard for, like, even like the greatest players, like it's hard for people to be able to translate that, to break it down to where other people can understand. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so sometimes I know people, unbelievable players, but they can't translate what made them great to make the other.
They can't articulate it.
Exactly. They can't
Yeah.
articulate, break it down.
It's natural for them.
To the simplest. Exactly. It's natural for them. So it's a gift in itself to be able to, break it down, like the steps that it really takes and what you really need to do to be, because some dudes will be, hey, just go in the gym. Well, all right, well, fuck, now what? You know what I mean? People, I bet you there's kids in the gym 3-4 hours and they don't get nothing done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's crucial to what you're offering right now. And for everybody listening, please hit him up on Instagram right now, John Gillon. But for what he's offering, the evaluation, and just really a roadmap to, what it takes, because, more so than not, the kids now growing up, it's hard to play college ball. You know, it's you know, even to make a varsity team, you know, it's each level you go up, it's going to be a little bit harder. It's going to be less and less
Right.
kids be able to play. So to be able
Right.
to, you know, get some tips and you know, tidbits to how to approach those situations. Man,
It doesn't start in 10th grade. It doesn't start in 11th grade. It starts in 6th grade to have the certain fundamentals to be able to get to a certain level. So like, I'm not saying don't try if you're at a certain age, but don't wait. Like, and I would advise parents to like invest in their kids now, so you don't have to pay for college. My parents didn't have to pay a penny for me. I got a master's and a undergrad degree. You know what I mean? So then that was just based off the investment that they put in early, even though if it was time, money, like whatever it is, and they reap some sort of benefit from it, you know?
Yeah, no doubt.
So
You know, kids, find your passion, find somebody who's been through it and experienced it, learn the steps you need to take to get there, and you know, work your butt off every day, be consistent with it, man. I think kids don't really understand like how consistent you have to be with the work. It can't just be 2 weeks on, take a month off, or 1 day a week. It can't be like that. It has to be an everyday thing.
every day,
Every day.
at least six.
You gotta be obsessed with it a little bit, man. So and that's what you were, John. You were able to you know, fight through a lot of ups and downs and share pretty cool stories about, you know, how you got there and how you're still going. So I appreciate you, bro, coming on. I know that you're gonna get picked up real quick. I'm gonna tell you this, bro, and this is real shit right here. Andrew White was on the podcast. Next day, what happened? Motherfucker got signed to Brisbane. I'm just saying, bro. So it's definitely gonna happen soon, man. We definitely rooting for you, bro. I appreciate you coming on, man.
Thanks. E, last thing, am I gonna get a rematch in 1-on-1 this summer?
You gonna get a rematch, bro. I'm feeling healthy. You know, body good. You come down to Cuse, it's on my home floor though.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, bro. Love.
All right, man.